Hello again, everybody. Good afternoon and welcome inside the Royal Brome Pavilion in Seattle, Washington, where the Seattle Pacific Falcons are getting ready for a GNAC volleyball match against the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves. My name is Max Gunn. Great to have you with me this afternoon. The starters for Seattle Pacific: Gabby Odo on the outside. Simone Tran will be the setter. Haley Gaines also out there in front. Sean Crespi in the middle, joined by Gabby Stegmoller. Mally Donahoe, the other outside hitter. The libero is Amanda Gennady. For Alaska Anchorage, Angeline Vreeland will get this start. She'll be joined by Taylor Noga, Chrysalyn Johnson, Ellen Floyd, Vera Pluhajuva, Tara Melton, and Vanessa Boyer. Seattle Pacific coming into this match with a 7-9 record, 5-4 mark in GNAC conference play, while the Seawolves are 14-3 in second place in the GNAC with a 7-2 record there. SPU trying to snap a 3-match losing streak. Most recent loss coming 48 hours ago on Thursday in this building. It was just their second loss at home this year, and they fell in 5 sets to Alaska Fairbanks. So Anchorage in town, ready to go. The Falcons will serve it up first. It will be Mally Donahoe to get things started, and we are underway at 2:05 p.m. here in Seattle. And the first kill of the day goes to Vera Pluhajuva. The 6'2" sophomore from the Czech Republic gets us started, and that gives the Seawolves an early 1-0 lead here in the first set. Here's Tran setting up Stegmoller, and she picks up a kill, and we are even at 1-1. So SPU quickly tying things up. Maddie Batiste will go back to serve it up for the Falcons. One serving one. Nice dig there by Batiste. Here's Gabby Odo, and she picks up the kill. Gabby Odo gives the Falcons their first lead of the day, 2-1 here in set number one. Gabby Odo had a team high 19 kills in the loss against Alaska Fairbanks on Thursday. Now Batiste will serve it up again. 2-0 run for Seattle Pacific. That one's volleyed around towards the net, sent over there. That was Chrysalyn Johnson. Now Haley Gaines, but Johnson with a nice dig. Falcons need to get it over now. There's Gaines again, and it is in. Point for the Falcons. It's 3-1. Haley Gaines, the transfer from Concordia Irvine, picked up a double-digit kill effort on Thursday. She's picked up double-digit kills in 7 of her last 9 matches. 3-0 run for Seattle Pacific. And there's a point for the Seawolves. That was Eve Stevens picking up the point. Stevens is the leader in kills with 191 coming into this match for Alaska Anchorage. And now it's 4-2 as the service there committed that time by number 18, Vanessa Boyer, the junior. Found the net. Erin Gould just into the match for the Falcons. She will serve it away. 4-2 Seattle Pacific here early. Blocked in front by Crespi. Tran setting up Odo, and it's down for the point. Gabby Odo gets her second kill of the day. It's 5-2 Falcons. Really good start here for Seattle Pacific early on off of that disappointing loss against the Nanooks. Gould to serve again. And she picks up the ace. Erin Gould, the freshman, hometown girl from Kent, makes it 6-2 SPU. Johnson with the dig. That sets up Stevens. And it's Eve Stevens, the freshman, getting the kill. And that pulls the Seawolves to within 3. It's 6-3 here in the first set. It's been a great season so far for Alaska Anchorage. A 14-3 mark. And Simone Tran gets it done that time. Shuffles it over. The setter out in front. Makes it 7-3 SPU. So Gabby Odo will go back to serve. Away it goes. Here's Johnson. Blocked out in front. That was Tran and Crespi getting a piece of that one. And that one's down for a point. Jaden Hooker able to get the job done. It's 8-3 Falcons. Nearly an ace there, but it's saved, and the Seawolves able to get it over. Here's Hooker again, and same result. Jaden Hooker from that left side picks up back-to-back kills. It is all Falcons here early. They are up 9-3 in the first set. Crespi gets it to fall. Sean Crespi. At 6'2" in the middle. Gets it in there. And the Falcons have a 10-3 lead here in the first set. Chris Green wants a timeout for his Seawolves. Will step aside, be back from Seattle in a moment. It's the Falcons by 7 in the first set. Welcome back to Seattle out of the timeout. Falcons with a 10-3 lead in the first set. Max Gunn with you this afternoon from the Royal Brome Pavilion. Great to have you with me as Gabby Odo will serve it up. And away it goes. And she commits an error. Getting ready to volley it. It was Tara Melton on the side of the Seawolves, but she watched it go into the net. And sees her Alaska Anchorage club get a point. So it's 10-4. Falcons still ahead by 6. Angeline Freeland with the serve, and the point right there goes to the Seawolves. It was out of bounds, too strong, off the hands of the Falcons. Freeland, the defensive specialist from Anchorage, Alaska. 5'6" sophomore sends it away again. Crespi hammers it home. Sean Crespi with her second kill of the day. Finds some room in the middle of the court, and it's 11-5 Falcons. That's Amanda Gannetti serving and picking up an ace. Second ace of the day for Seattle Pacific. Gabby Odo had one. Gannetti one as well. She sends it away, and that one is blocked and out for a point. That was Tara Melton. But the Falcons still doubling up Alaska Anchorage so far. 12-6 here in the first set. Grisselyn Johnson, the senior, one of only 3 seniors on this team, and she picks up an ace. just over the net and down. Odo tried to dive for it, wasn't able to get there. The aces were a big, big factor in the Falcons' loss to the Nanooks on Thursday. Fairbanks dropped in 13 aces. Prior to that, the Falcons had not allowed more than 6. Tran shuffles it over to Odo, who gets it in there, but it's saved by Anchorage. Here's Stegmoller in front. Really good dig that time by Vreeland, and it's down for a Alaska Anchorage point. So here comes Alaska. Within 4 points now. That last kill by Vanessa Boyer. Odo hits it right off of Johnson, and out of bounds it goes. So Gabby Odo gets a kill and a point back for the Falcons to end that 4-point spurt by the Seawolves, 13-8. Falcons out in front as Simone Tran gets it away. Dug out of there by Johnson. How about Gaines and Stegmoller combining for that last block up on front. But the kill is sent in by Tara Melton, just getting it in there. The senior from Glendale, Arizona, transfer from Glendale Community College. Picks up her first kill of the day, so it's 13-9. Falcons lead it in the first set. There's Hooker. It was blocked in front. Now Gaines gets it down. Haley Gaines. Makes it 14-9 SPU. Really good start so far for the Falcons, who are trying to beat an Alaska Anchorage team that has beaten them in the last 10 consecutive matches. SPU's last win against the Seawolves, as the Falcons pick up another point. We have to go all the way back to November 10th, 2012. Last time they beat this school. 15-9 Falcons. Donahoe gets it away. That one's sent over. But Stegmoller there for the dig. Now Gaines with the left hand. Odo will try. And it's down for the point. Gabby Odo gets it done. Give her 4 kills on the day. It's 16-9. And Alaska Anchorage wants to take a quick timeout. We will take a quick break and be back in Seattle. 16-9 Falcons here in set number 1. Out of the timeout, it's 16-9 Falcons. Still with the serve. That's Mally Donahoe getting ready to send it away.
Donahoe serving.
This start's so important for the Seattle Pacific team against one of the best in the GNAC in the Seawolves. And that point will go to the Seawolves as Donahoe was not able to get it over. So it's 16-10 now. And the serve coming up for Alaska Anchorage, that's Ellen Floyd, the freshman setter from Pensacola, Florida. Of the 15 girls on this Alaska Anchorage team, there's Floyd picks up an ace there. Only 5 of them are from the state of Alaska. Alaska Anchorage represented from Hawaii, Washington, Arizona, California, Wisconsin, Florida, Oregon, Texas, and even the Czech Republic. 16-11. Donahoe has it dug out of there by Floyd. And Anchorage picks up the point. That was Vanessa Boyer in front, just tapping it over, finding some room. And the lead is trimmed to 16-12. Abby Wright wants to take a quick timeout. Her first of the day. We'll take one as well. Be back in a moment in Seattle. Welcome back to the Royal Brome Pavilion. Max Gunn with you this afternoon in Seattle, where the Falcons have a 16-12 lead here in the first set over the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves. This is a Seawolves team that was picked to finish 4th within the GNAC conference this year in the preseason polls, and they are currently in 3rd place behind only Western Washington and Central Washington. Here's Odo, dug out of there by Johnson. And that kill is down by number 16, Eve Stevens, the freshman from Palmer, Alaska. Stevens, as a freshman, leads this very talented Seawolves team in kills. Gets another one there, 16-13 now. Gaines hammers it in there. Big time stuff from Haley Gaines. Great answer by the Falcons, who extend their lead to 17-13. That was the 3rd kill of the day for Haley Gaines. Pretty evenly matched in the kill department so far for the Seawolves. 3 from Melton, Boyer, as well as Stevens. There's Stevens. And Batiste is unable to handle it. So Stevens picks up another kill. Here's the last 2 straight points for the Seawolves, who trim the deficit to 17-14. Stevens won back-to-back high school titles at Colony in Palmer, Alaska. Honored to be part of a winning program here in the Seawolves, and they certainly are that, as Gabby Odo gets their 5th kill of the day and makes it 18-14 Falcons. This is an Anchorage team that has won a lot over the years, especially since Chris Green took over as the lead man in charge of this Seawolf squad 10 years ago. He's in his 11th season. Tran shuffles it over, but it's dug out of there by Pluha Juva. And now the whistle blows, and that's a violation call down the Seawolves. So give the point to the Falcons. It's 19-14. This Alaska Anchorage team went to the D2 NCAA title game a couple of years ago in 2016, as that error is committed to make it 19-15. In 2016, Alaska Anchorage went 34-3, error committed by the Seawolves, so they give it right back.
Jake Hooker back into the lineup. Gabby Odo serving.
That was Tayra Melton. Check that, Taylor Noga, who committed that last error.
Alaska Anchorage point back in with Anchorage. Vreeland serving.
Another point for Anchorage. And Angelin Vreeland back to serve. Falcons up by 6, looking to add to it. Here's Hooker, hammers it in. Jaden Hooker with her second kill. Check that, third of the match. 21-16 Falcons. And Amanda Gannetti back to serve again. Here's Johnson hitting it hard, but Stegmoller blocks it. But it goes out of bounds. Point to the Seawolves. Stegmoller getting some more playing time early on in this match. We saw her sparingly on Thursday against Fairbanks. Getting some more time today. Big presence up there in front of the net. Just missed that one. Tran setting up Hooker, and the point goes to the Falcons. Out of bounds it goes. Johnson tried to dig it out. She got a couple of hands on it, but went out of bounds over towards the Falcons bench. 22-17 SPU. 3 points away from taking set number 1. That one was tipped and out on the Falcons, so the point goes to Alaska Anchorage. That was Vanessa Boyer, the junior from Salem, Oregon, picking up the kill, her third. Tran setting up gains from the other side, and it goes out of bounds. Point to the Falcons. Gaines has been doing most of her damage from the right side so far today. That time rotating to the left. Picks up her 4th kill. 23-18 Falcons. Nice job by Odo to dig out that rally from Boyer, and the Falcons get it done again. Haley Gaines for the 2nd straight time. And now the Falcons will serve for the set. The Falcons were able to take the first set on Thursday before falling in 5. Looking for a better result today while trying to take the first set again. That one just kept alive. Boyer with a big hammer, but Donahoe digs it out. Tran setting up Odo for the set. No go that time, and oh, what a shuffle over there by number 13, Ellen Floyd, the setter. Pulling a Simone Tran, used to seeing that on the Falcons side. And the Seawolves still have life. And Seattle Pacific and Abby Wright want to take a quick minute timeout. Make sure her team is all set to go to take set number 1. 1 point away from doing so. We'll be right back here in Seattle. Back to serve out of the timeout for Alaska Anchorage is Ellen Floyd.
Everybody back on your feet. Here we go.
Crowd on their feet here at Brome. Away it goes. Tran setting up Odo for set number 1, but denied. Now Gannetti will set up Gaines from the other side, hits it into the net, and down for a point for the Seawolves. So now the lead just 4, but it's still set point. 24-20 Falcons. Floyd sends it away. Dug out of there by Donahoe. Tran setting up Gaines. Johnson digs it away. There's Floyd. And Odo. Boyer couldn't get that one to fall. Neither can Gaines. Good rally here. Stegmoller gets it down. And Gabby Stegmoller gives the Falcons a set one win. They take a 1-0 lead here today. That is just a terrific response by the Falcons, who fell in 5 sets in a disappointing loss 2 nights ago to Fairbanks. They win it 25-20 in the first set today. They'll try and take a 2-0 lead going into the break. We'll pause here at Brome and be back in a couple of moments for set number 2. You're listening to GNAC Volleyball. Welcome back to the Royal Brome Pavilion in Seattle, Washington. Max Gunn with you for this GNAC volleyball matchup this afternoon, where the Falcons have taken a 1-0 lead, winning it 25-20. Gabby Odo and Haley Gaines tied at 5 kills apiece for SPU, while Eve Stevens, the freshman, is leading the way for Alaska Anchorage. She has 5 as well. So now the Falcons with a real opportunity to grab control of this match, trying to head into the break with a 2-0 lead. The Falcons were able to win the first set 2 days ago against Fairbanks before falling in 5. Looking for a better result today. And the Falcons trying to do something they have not done since 2012, and that is simply beat this Seawolves team. 10 straight match wins for Alaska Anchorage against Seattle Pacific.
Here we go, coming right after the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves.
So it will be Alaska Anchorage to serve it off to start. In set number 2, Ellen Floyd is back to get it started, and away we go. Donahoe with the dig. It's going to be tough, and Odo couldn't get there. That'll be an ace for Floyd, and the Seawolves take a 1-0 lead to start the second set of play. Crespi trying to even it, but blocked up there. Now Odo dug out of there by Johnson. Stevens has it go out, and the point goes to SPU to even it up. (1-1). Aaron Gould back to serve. Johnson with the dig, setting up Floyd, and it is down for the point. Beg your pardon, that's Eve Stevens there, number 16, picking up the kill. Donahoe just hit it out of bounds. Big, heavy hit there from Allie Donahoe. But it's 3-1 Seawolves in the second set. Vanessa Boyer back to serve. Looks like they're going to take a look at that last point to make sure it was out of bounds. Falcons hoping that that maybe could get reversed. In other SPU sports news, the Falcon cross-country teams have this weekend off from competition, but they'll be back on the race course next Saturday in Lewiston, Idaho for the Inland Empire Challenge. The women will race at 10 a.m. The men will follow at 10:45. Both races will be at the Lewis and Clark State College cross-country course. And the volleyball team, these Falcons, will have a 4-match road trip next week. The first stop will be on Thursday against Concordia Portland, with first serve time of 6 p.m. The next home match will be a couple of weeks from now on October 25th. That's a Thursday when Central Washington comes to the Brome Pavilion. First serve there is at 7. And that Central Washington volleyball team is very good. 14-2 overall record. 8-1 so far in GNAC conference play. That, again, is a couple of weeks ahead. Falcons have a lot of business to take care of there in the meantime. This review is still going on over by the scores table. Allie Donahoe had a heavy hit over towards that far right side, and it was called out on the floor. Point for the Seawolves. And they are looking to see if it was indeed out or if the call will be reversed if it was in. Looks like we have a decision here, and the point stays with Alaska Anchorage. So it was out. Seawolves get the point and the serve. Still some explaining going on between the officials as well as Anchorage coach Chris Green. Are they going to look at this again? Appears to be some more conversations. Now head coach Abby Wright for the Falcons is getting a word in. So they will reverse that and give it to the Falcons. So Seattle Pacific get a 2-point swing out of that. Instead of being down 3-1, it's all even at 2-2, and Gabby Odo will serve it away. Interesting sequence there. After the initial review, they gave the point to the Seawolves, which was called on the floor originally, and then after further review, they turned it over. But there is a big-time kill from number 16, that's Eve Stevens, to make it 3-2 Seawolves. Stevens has made an immediate impact as a freshman, leading the team with 181 kills coming into this match. And that's a service error committed by the libero, Taylor Noga, to make it 3-3. So now Amanda Gannetti will serve it away. And she commits an error, back-to-back errors for both sides, and that gives Alaska Anchorage a 4-3 lead. Checking back into the match is Angelyn Freeland. And the 5'6" sophomore will serve it away. Seawolves up by a point in the second set. Hooker trying to even it. It was blocked and down, out of bounds. And the Falcons pick up the point. It was out of bounds. Off of Tara Melton. So 4 serving 4. Johnson needs to get it over. She does. Tran setting up Gaines. Big hit, but dug out of there nicely by Freeland. Johnson again. Denied again, and the point goes to SPU. Gabby Stegmoller able to get it over. So now the serve back with the Falcons, and Simone Tran will send it away. Melton getting it over, dug out of there by Gaines, setting up Hooker. What a big hit by Jaden Hooker. 2 straight points for the Falcons. They're up 6-4. Nice shuffle over that time by Ellen Floyd, but it goes back to the Falcons, who are able to get it in there. Falcons up 7-4. That kill right there by Haley Gaines, her 6th. Johnson going for one of her own, and she picks it up. Crystal-Lynn Johnson, who was a preseason all-GNAC selection, has 9 double-doubles this year, the most on the Seawolves team. She was a GNAC Offensive Player of the Week earlier this season, and she is back to serve. 7-5 Falcons here in the second set. Hooker, too strong. Out of bounds it goes, and the Seawolves within 1 at 7-6. But with as good as this Alaska Anchorage team has been over Chris Green's tenure, now in his 11th season in charge of this program, and combine that with the fact that the Seawolves have just 3 seniors, they are set up pretty well over the next couple of years. That one's by the first row, and Tran's unable to get it. That's going to even up this second set at 7 points apiece. Of the 10 straight match wins for Alaska Anchorage against the Falcons, 6 of those have been here in Seattle. Falcons off to a good start, trying to snap that streak by winning the first set 25-20. And there's a point for the Falcons as Vanessa Boyer on that left side hit it into her own net. 8-7 SPU. Vanessa Boyer with 3 kills today. And that one goes out of bounds. Point to the Falcons. That was Tara Melton, one of those 3 seniors who hit it just a little bit too strong. Donahoe serves it away. Here's Melton again. Heavy shot. What a dig by Tran. It was sent in the direction of Haley Gaines, but she was unable to handle it. And now Alaska Anchorage down by just a point. It's 9-8. And Melton is back there to serve. And she just does get an ace. Gabiotto let it go. Thought it was going to be out, and it just barely stayed in. All leaving at 9-9. Melton picks up the ace. She's been doing her best work in the middle. Blocking as Stegmoller can't get that one to fall. And that's down for another Seawolves point. Vanessa Boyer gets the job done. First lead in a while for Anchorage. They're up 10-9. But Melton, who shared the GNAC Newcomer of the Year honors last year after she transferred in from Glendale Community College, is possibly in line for some more accolades this season as she digs that one out of there. Nice dig by Gabiotto on the Falcons side. Donahoe getting it over. Good rally here. Falcons looking to even it up. And down for the kill, Vanessa Boyer picks up her 5th. And Anchorage goes ahead by 2. Melton is 4th in the GNAC currently with a .341 attack percentage, and 8th in the conference with 1.1 blocks per set. And some more action up on front for the Seawolves. They take a 3-point lead now at 12-9. Keep it right here during the timeout. For Tara Melton, I mentioned she was Newcomer of the Year last year after transferring in, and she was a All-American at the junior college level in Glendale when she had a great run there before coming over to Anchorage. And her 1.1 blocks per set ranks 35th nationally at the Division II level. After taking the first set, 25-20, the second set sees Alaska Anchorage up in front by 3, 12-9. Seattle Pacific had just called a timeout. It's a 5-0 run right now for the Seawolves. So out of the timeout, Seawolves still have this serve. That's Melton committing the error. And that is a big-time stop for the Falcons, who get the point and the serve back. Maddie Batiste just into the match will serve. Coming in for Stegmoller. Batiste twirls it up and sends it away. Falcons down by 2. And whiffing on it that time from the far side was Stevens. So Falcons to within 1. And that right there is a really nice job by the setter, Ellen Floyd, picking up the kill and getting the Seawolves back up by 2. It's 13-11. About midway through the second set. Floyd will serve it away. Dug out of there by Odo. Tran setting up Gaines. Heavy hit, and she picks up the kill. Haley Gaines with a lot of muscle behind that one with the left hand. Brings the Falcons back down by just a point. It's 13-12. Gould to serve for SPU. Stevens denied. Odo. Dug out by Johnson. And now here's Boyer. Good block up front by Crespi and Tran. And the Falcons pick up the point. Gabby Odo hammers it in there along with Simone Tran, combining to tie up this match, or this set rather, at 13-13. Now it looks like Chris Green, the coach of the Seawolves, want the officials to look something over. And they will. So, for the moment, this set is even at 13-13. We're in set number 2. The Falcons took the first set, winning by 5. So while the officials continue to review this, well, looks like they're about to come to a conclusion. So inconclusive is the call, so the point stays with Seattle Pacific. So after falling behind by 5 points in this second set, the Falcons have evened it up 13-13. Aaron Gould back to serve it away.
Stays tied at 13. Aaron Gould serving.
So Gould punches it away. Just does get over the net. Nearly an ace and an error at the same time, and that one is muscled in there for Alaska Anchorage. Eve Stevens able to connect. And it's Stevens making a strong argument for All-League and GNAC Freshman of the Year honors. She is 6th in the conference with a .316 attacking percentage. Johnson with the left hand, blocked out of bounds off of Simone Tran, so the point goes to Alaska Anchorage. Quick little 2-0 spurt. Seawolves up 15-13 in the second set. Good rally here. It was Stevens again, but touches it out of bounds, and the point goes to SPU. Tried to just tap it up there with the left hand, but a little too wide, and the Falcons down by just 1. Trying to even it up. Odo serves. Stevens again. This time it works. Tried doing that on the other side, went out of bounds. This time with some more room to work with further towards the middle. Gets it to fall, and it's 16-14. Alaska Anchorage with the lead in the second set. Here's Taylor Noga, the libero today, to punch it away, serving for the Seawolves. Sean Crespi dug out of there by Noga, who hit it out of bounds, and the Falcons back within 1. Really good job there by Sean Crespi. You can see the wheels turning in her head, thinking about going for it, but thought better of it, and with good reason, watching it go out of bounds. 16-15. Falcons down by a point. There's Stevens hammering it, but really nice dig by Gould. And that one goes into the net, and that is going to be a violation. Double hit on the Seawolves to even up this second set at 16-16. Gennady to serve, dug out of there by Noga. Noga started at libero the last 5 matches now after earlier this year starting at right side hitter, and the Falcons get it done again to go up by a point. Jaden Hooker delivers the kill, her 7th. Tied for the most on the Falcons team with Haley Gaines, and with SPU taking a 17-16 lead. Chris Green wants to call a timeout. We'll take one as well here in Seattle. Falcons making a case to go up 2-0 heading into the break. We'll be right back. Out of the timeout, the Falcons will serve up 17-16 in set number 2. That's Gannetti getting it away. Hooker nearly snuck it in there, but it's dug out by the Seawolves, and that time Chrysalyn Johnson tried to get it over, but hit it right into her team's side of the net to put the Falcons up 18-16. Johnson frustrated with herself, slapping her hands together after that miscue. Now she's trying to redeem herself, but denied. Simone Tran and Gabby Stegmoller up front, combining for the block to put Seattle Pacific up 19-16. Very, very nicely done by a couple of Falcons there. That time, Anchorage able to get one back to make it 19-17. Gabby Stegmoller leading the way with 3 blocks now for Seattle Pacific. Angelin Vreeland with the serve for Anchorage. Odo hits it into her own net. It's down. Chrysalyn Johnson was looking for it. Heard it hit the net, couldn't find it, and Gabby Odo gets the job done. Back up by 3 go the Falcons. How about Seattle Pacific with 3 players now, each with 7 kills? Gaines, Hooker, and Odo. Trying to extend their lead. Odo gets it over, but dug out by Noga. There's Melton. Blocked, but out of bounds. Getting up strong there with 2 hands was Hooker, but just did go out. So Anchorage back to within 2. It's 20-18. Late into this second set. Falcons trying to put Alaska Anchorage with their backs against the wall heading into the break. Here's Gaines, blocked up by Melton. Whistle blows, and that is going to be a net violation. So give the point to Seattle Pacific, up 21-18 now. It looks like there's some chatter now between the coaching staff of the Seawolves and some of the officials. 21-18. Falcons with the serve. That's Mally Donahoe. Johnson with an awkward-looking dig there, setting up Boyer. That won't fall. Gaines hammers it in. Haley Gaines, give her 9 kills now. Tying her with Eve Stevens for the most on the floor for either team So far this afternoon, the Falcons on the verge of taking the second set. Need just 3 more points. It's 22-18. Timeout on the floor. We will be right back here in Seattle. Seattle Pacific out of the timeout. 3 points away from taking set number 2. Mally Donahoe to serve. 22-18. The Falcons took the first set by 5. Melton. No go that time. Great job by the Falcons to keep it alive. Odo has it tapped around, and the rally still going. Stegmuller taps it to Gaines. Odo very nearly got it in there. Gaines heavy hit. Vreeland able to corral it, but the Falcons stand tall in front of the net once more. Gabby Stegmuller with Haley Gaines right by her side. But now the official from the scores table and they are going to reverse that and give the point to the Seawolves. Abby Wright's not happy, asking for an explanation. That's a big 2-point swing. And instead of going up 5, Falcons now up just 3. But the Falcons, who are 5-4 in GNAC conference play so far, trying to make it 6-4 with a win today. The last time they finished above 500 for the first half in the GNAC schedule was in 2013. That one goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Falcons, so now Anchorage back to within 2 points at 22-20 as a timeout is called. Been talking a lot about that Big Ten match win streak for Alaska Anchorage. Currently 10 consecutive matches won. That is the second longest streak among GNAC opponents. Northwest Nazarene has beaten Seattle Pacific 12 straight times. The last time that the Seawolves visited Seattle Pacific in this building was a very, very tight match, going 5 sets. Seattle Pacific had their backs against the wall twice. We're a game down on 2 separate occasions before Alaska Anchorage won single-handedly in the 5th set, 15-6. But the Falcons trying to reverse course today. Off to one heck of a start. Took the first set up by 2 in set number 2, deep into it. Up 22-20. Make it 23-20 as an error is committed there by Alaska Anchorage. Tara Melton hit it right into her side of the net. Energizes this crowd at Brome. Maddie Batiste to serve for Seattle Pacific. Away it goes. Noga dug it out, and that one is out of bounds. Last off of Sean Crespi. So back to a 2-point game here, as Eve Stevens comes back into the match, replacing Angelin Vreeland. Crespi finds some space. And Sean Crespi makes this set point. Crowd on their feet again here at the Royal Brome Pavilion. 24-21. Gains to serve. And it goes out. Really nice job there by the libero Noga to let it go. You could see her thinking about touching it, but too strong was Haley Gaines. Katie Mansfield in the match now for the Falcons. Up by 2, still set point. Crespi had it go in, but the Falcons will have to wait because Chris Green flashed up his green card to the official. He is very confident that that ball was out, and they are going to take a look at it. If this call stands, the Falcons will head into the break with a 2-0 lead. We will see what happens. The official taking a look at the replay monitor. Chris Green was very, very confident, or so it appeared by his body language and expression, that that ball was clearly out. It was very, very close. They will need conclusive evidence because the call on the court was that it was in, and that the Falcons are going to take back-to-back sets here to start off this match against a very talented Alaska Anchorage team that has lost just 3 times this year. The Seawolves have lost to Cal State East Bay, Central Washington, and Western Washington. That is it. And after the review, the point stays with the Falcons. How about that? Seattle Pacific goes up 2-0 at the break. They take the first set 25-20. Set number 2 goes the Falcons' way as well, 25-22. If the Seawolves are going to beat the Falcons for the 11th consecutive match, they're going to have to win 3 straight sets. What a performance today by Seattle Pacific. What a way to rebound after their loss to Alaska Fairbanks on Thursday. They will try and finish the job after the break. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere here in Seattle. You're listening to GNAC Volleyball. Hello again, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back inside the Brome Pavilion here in Seattle, where the SPU Falcons are on the verge of a sweep. Up 2-0. They took the first set 25-20, took set number 2 25-22. And we'll try and take this match and snap the 10-match loss streak against these Alaska Anchorage Seawolves. Haley Gaines with a terrific first 2 sets for SPU. She has 9 kills. Right behind her, Gabby Odo with 7 kills, leading the way in the kill department for Alaska Anchorage. Vanessa Boyer, who has 7, and behind her, Chrysalyn Johnson and Tara Melton each have 4. So we're ready to go after the break. SPU will serve it up first. Mallie Donahoe back there to get things started. Seattle Pacific 25 points away from a match win. Tran setting up Stegmoller. There's Boyer, and that goes out. And the first point goes to SPU. Simone Tran, through the first 2 sets, picked up 27 assists, and she is on her way to potentially making some big-time history for herself and this SPU program. There's Boyer. She was denied. Tran setting up Odo, looking for another assist, but won't get one there. More on Tran in a moment and what she is on the verge of doing. There's Gaines. Odo trying to keep it alive. Falcons need to get it over. Tran does so. And that's down for a point. Melton able to pick it up for Alaska Anchorage. But Simone Tran had 43 assists in the loss to Alaska Fairbanks a couple of days ago. She now has 3,676 assists in her career as the Seawolves pick up an ace. That was prior to the start of today's match. So coming into this match against the Seawolves, Simone Tran 334 assists away from breaking the school career record of 4,009, and she needs to average 33 assists per match from here on out. In the remaining 11 matches, including today, and again through the first 2 sets, she picked up 27, so she will likely hit that mark of that 33 average here today. Long rally here. Tran setting up Odo, but dug out of there by Vreeland. Odo too strong. Point goes to Alaska Anchorage. Some more milestones from last Thursday's match for the Falcons. Amanda Gennady picked up her 200th career assist. Gabby Stegmoller picked up her 200th career point. And Sean Crespi tallied her 800th career point in the loss against Fairbanks. Falcons down by 2 early on in this third set. Gaines tried to shuffle it over, but was denied, and that point goes to Vanessa Boyer, who was a middle blocker last year for Chris Green's team. But she's an outside hitter these days, and her kills have been going up each week. There's a service error committed, so the Falcons get a point and a serve back, down 4-2. Boyer has at least 14 kills in 4 of her last 9 matches. She was part of that 2016 runner-up squad. And that one goes out of bounds off of the Falcons to give Alaska Anchorage a 5-2 lead here in this third set. Boyer led the way with a team-high 14 kills against the St. Martin Saints, which was won in dominant fashion by Anchorage, and that one is in ace. That's Ellen Floyd, the setter, picking up the ace for the Seawolves, who are up 6-2. Whistle blows. And that's going to be another point for Alaska Anchorage. The Falcons gave up 13 aces to Fairbanks, and they have allowed 7 here today. Prior to that, I mentioned it earlier, nobody had more than 6. That one goes out of bounds, so the Falcons will get a point back, down by 3. Make it 4 at 7-3. Haley gains the serve. Noga digs it out, and Simone Tran combined with Sean Crespi up front get the job done, and now the Falcons down by 3 at 7-4. Noga wearing that green shirt as the Seawolves tap it in to go back up by 4 at 8-4. Noga, the libero today. She's from Hawaii and has been very versatile throughout her career with Alaska Anchorage. She was a defensive specialist during her first 3 seasons, and this year has moved around between outside hitter and that libero spot. Tran up in front. Stevens taps it away. Now here's Johnson with a heavy hit, and she picks up the kill. Crystalline Johnson makes it 9-4 Seawolves in set number 3. Noga has also been very, very durable for Alaska Anchorage. She's played in all 326 sets possible since 2015. Those numbers, of course, before the sets played today. Abby Wright talking things over with one of the officials there. It's 9-4. Seawolves leading this third set here early. The first 2 sets were won by Seattle Pacific, 20-25 and 25-22. Boyer to serve. And that stays in. That's an ace. The 8th ace of the day for Alaska Anchorage, who go up 10-4. And Abby Wright wants to rally her troops. She calls a quick timeout. So it's mostly Anchorage so far here to start the third set. They're up 10-4. We'll be right back. You're listening to GNAC Volleyball. Seattle Pacific giving the Seawolves a much, much better test than they faced 2 days ago against the St. Martin Saints. When Anchorage won in 4 sets, the Saints not having a very good year within the GNAC. 0-9 in conference play, 2-13 overall. Noga digs that one out, setting up Stevens, blocked, and there it is, down for a point for SPU, now 10-5. The Saints and the Seawolves were actually all tied up at 1 set apiece, but Alaska Anchorage took sets 3 and 4 in dominating fashion. They took the third set 25-18, and then the fourth 25-11 to cruise to the match victory. That one stays in for Crystalline Johnson to put the Seawolves back up 11-5. Sixth kill of the match for Johnson as Noga serves it away. Tapped around in front by Tran and Crespi. Johnson going for another kill, and she'll get one. Her 7th, it's 12-5 Seawolves. Before this year is over for Alaska Anchorage, Crystalline Johnson will move up into 9th place all-time on the Seawolves kill list. And with her 7 kills here today, she now has 7 kills in 77 of her last 85 matches played. She's been a cornerstone for this program over the last 4 years. Now it looks like they're going to review that last play over at the scores table. The Falcons trying to come back here in this 3rd set. Down 12-5. They're up 2 sets to none. The Falcons this year had a streak where they won 5 matches in a row. 3 of them were 3-set sweeps consecutively, coming against Western Oregon, Concordia Portland, and also St. Martin's. They beat all 3 of those teams 3 sets to none. That most recent one coming against the St. Martin Saints, that was back on September 18th. So for the first time in 3 weeks, they're trying to sweep. But down 12-5 in this 3rd set. So after the review, the point and serve will remain with Alaska Anchorage. Abby Wright still not pleased. Having a conversation with that official over by the scores table. So back to serve is Taylor Noga, the senior from Anchorage. Here's Hooker. She was denied by Floyd, and the point goes to Anchorage, 13-5. Gannetti just does keep it alive. Tran over by the table, shuffles it to Odo, who gets it over. Now here's Johnson. What a dig that time by Gannetti. That had a lot of steam behind it from Crystalline Johnson, and Hooker hits it into the net to make it 14-5 Seawolves. So the attack error committed there by Hooker. And there's an error committed on the side of Alaska Anchorage as Noga hit it out for a service error. And the Falcons get a point back. Still down 14-6. Gannetti to serve. Just does get over the net, and it's an ace. It was a low ball over the net. Johnson tried to dig it out, but hit it into her own side of the net. That's the second time Gannetti's picked up an ace today. Overall, the Falcons have 3. Aaron Gould has the other, but that point will go right back to the Seawolves. Kill by Eve Stevens, who with that really good attack percentage, I mentioned it earlier, of .316. That would be an Alaska Anchorage freshman record if that number holds up throughout the next 11 matches of the season. Here's Stegmoller. That one stays in, and a point for SPU. Really nice job by Gabby Stegmoller, just cradling it in there, just in bounds. Falcons down 15-8. Now Simone Tran will serve it up. And a big, heavy hit that time right there from Melton. Melton was used to a lot of winning at that community college she played at, Glendale. In the 2 years she played there, that team went 54-8. Won the newcomer award last year, and she's fourth now in the GNAC with attacking percentage. Falcons get a point back. Melly Donahoe comes back into the match and will serve. 16-9. Anchorage out in front in this third set. Falcons trying to scrap back into it. Away it goes. Johnson with the dig. There's Melton again, and the point goes to the Falcons. A little bit of confusion there. It was a late whistle blown to signal the end of the rally. But the Falcons pick up the point nonetheless. There's Boyer. Odo corrals it. Now Gaines tapped around, and Noga keeps it alive. No go for Melton. Donahoe is able to stop it. Gaines with the left hand gets it to fall. Haley Gaines brings the Falcons back to within 5. It's 16-11. Haley Gaines now with 10 kills this afternoon. Boyer tried the soft toss, but Tran was right there. And that one goes out of bounds off the Seawolves. Point for the Falcons, now 16-12. And Chris Green calls a timeout. 3 straight points for Seattle Pacific, down by just 4. If they can come back and win this set, they will take this match against Anchorage. We'll take a break. Timeout. We'll be back in a moment from Seattle. You're listening to GNAC Volleyball. Out of the timeout, Donahoe will serve it for Seattle Pacific, down by 4. Whistle blows. And a double hit violation is called on Alaska Anchorage. Falcons down just 3, 16-13. Donahoe to serve again. 4-0 spurt. And that one just goes out of bounds. A service error committed by Donahoe. Nice job by Crystalline Johnson. Good awareness. Saw that one just sneak over her head and pass that out of bounds line. 17-13 Anchorage. Melton to serve. Stegmoller hammers it home. Gabby Stegmoller in front of the net picks up the kill, and the Falcons back to down by just 3. Only one time this season have the Seawolves been swept, and that was all the way back on September 1st against Cal State East Bay when they lost 3-0. Johnson geared it up for that one, but a nice job by Batiste to get down there and dig it out. Now Odo picks up a kill. Gabby Odo from the left side brings the Falcons to down just 2. 9th kill of the match for Gabby Odo. And Batiste serves. Now gets into position and just a little too far to her right for her to get a true play on it. She did get both hands on it, but it deflected past her and out of bounds. So 18-15, Seawolves lead it. Crespi couldn't get it down. Stevens was there. Now Tran setting up Gaines in the left hand. How about Noga digging that one out? Whistle call. That'll be a point for the Falcons. Net violation brings the Falcons to within 2. 18-16. And Haley Gaines sends it away with the left hand on the serve. Noga setting up Boyer. Big time blow, wouldn't go. Now Gaines gets it to fall. Kill number 11 for Haley Gaines. And the Falcons down by just 1 point. Chris Green barking out instructions to his club as his team goes back up by 2 as Gaines commits a service error. Chris Green is a 4-time GNAC Coach of the Year in 2019, 13, 15, and 16. He's also a 3-time West Region Coach of the Year as the Falcons come back to down by just 1. Gabby Odo picks up the kill, her 10th. And the assist from Simone Tran. Tran now with 34 assists, so that surpasses the 33 assist average that she needs to become the all-time assist leader in SPU history. And now the Falcons have tied it up. 19-19 in set number 3 with the Falcons up 2-0. Johnson hit it into her own net, but now the Seawolves get a point back on the service error. 20-19, Taylor Noga to serve. Dug out of there by Hooker. Tran setting up Odo, but Noga was right there. Now there's Stevens. No go. Hooker will try once more. Got it over the outstretched arms of Stevens, but couldn't corral it. Tran tried to shovel it over. Really good rally here. Hooker denied. Eve Stevens standing tall in front of the net. Bats it down for a point for Alaska Anchorage, and they go up 21-19. And Seattle Pacific calls a timeout. Really good back and forth action here in set number 3. The Falcons trying to sweep the Seawolves out of town. Timeout on the floor. We will be right back here in Seattle. You're listening to GNAC Volleyball. Here we go out of the timeout. Noga to serve. 21-19. Great to have you with me here today in set number 3 from Seattle, Washington. My name is Max Gunn, and Taylor Noga just committed an error on the serve. So the Falcons down a single point, 21-20. Gennady will serve it up for SPU. Johnson digs it out. Floyd there. Johnson gears up. A lot of touches there in front of the net. Falcons need to get it over and do. Gennady coming in to save the day. Floyd dishes it off to Melton, who hammers it in there for a 2-point Seawolves lead. Back to serve is Angelin Vreeland. Stegmoller gets a couple of taps there. Now Hooker gearing up, and she gets the kill. Still just a 1-point set here, 22-21. Abby Wright says something to Tran before she serves it away. Falcons looking for a tie here on this rally. Johnson will prevent that. Puts the Seawolves back up by 2, 23-21. This is some terrific GNAC action here in this third set especially. Both of these two teams on top of their game following the break. Seattle Pacific up 2-0. They won the first set by 5 points, took the second set by 3. Down by 2 in the third. Big hit there from Hooker, but she was denied by Vreeland. Now Boyer. Nice dig by Hooker. Tran setting up Gaines, tapped in front, and Tran keeps it alive. Another good rally. Hooker into the hands of Johnson. Boyer again, soft toss. Tran's there to answer the bell. Gaines was about ready to gear up, but had to just tap it over. Whistle blows, and the point is going to go to Alaska Anchorage, who will now serve for this set. (24-21). Chrysalyn Johnson back there to serve it away. Here's Hooker. Floyd able to get there. Now Boyer couldn't get it. Hooker again. Other side. Picks up the kill. Jaden Hooker with kill number 9. And the Falcons down just 2, 24-22. Allie Donahoe will serve. Remember, it is win by 2. So the Falcons will get another point here. Allie Donahoe with an ace. Her first of the day. 24-23. Falcons looking for a tie after this Chris Green timeout. Alaska Anchorage wants to talk things over. A quick 2-point spurt by Seattle Pacific brings them to within 1 point. What great action here in this third set. I mentioned Chris Green a couple of moments ago during that last timeout and all of the success that he has had in charge of this program over the last decade. And his program, the Seawolves, who have won 7 of 8, are one more win away from clinching an 11th straight winning season. They've had a winning season in every year so far of Chris Green's tenure. And that streak began when Chris Green took over the program prior to the 2008 season. And again, this team is loaded for the next several of years at least, with just 3 seniors on this current team. Those 3 seniors being Taylor Noga, Chrysalyn Johnson, as well as Tara Melton. And, of course, they've had the fabulous play from their freshman, Eve Stevens. So the Falcons trying to even it up. Melton hammers it in there. And Alaska Anchorage wins the third set 25-23 and force a fourth set here in Seattle this afternoon. So after taking the first two sets out of the break, Anchorage answers the bell. And the Falcons now will try and rebound. We'll step aside in Seattle. Be back in a couple of moments. Fourth set coming up from the Brome Pavilion. Stick with us. You're listening to GNAC Volleyball. Welcome back to the Royal Brome Pavilion in Seattle, Washington. My name is Max Gunn. Delighted to have you aboard for the ride in this terrific GNAC volleyball matchup between Seattle Pacific and Alaska Anchorage. We are heading to the fourth set. SPU up 2-1. First serve goes to Alaska Anchorage, and there is a big-time hammer from Haley Gaines to start things off and give the Falcons an early 1-0 lead. Haley Gaines getting it done again. Give her 13 kills on the night to lead the Falcons. Now Mally Donahoe will serve it away. There's Stevens. Oh, and that's just in. Barely. As Stevens knots up this fourth set at 1 point apiece. That was very, very close. It right against that line. The official right on top of it. Odo too hot to handle that time, and that is going to be an ace for Vanessa Boyer. Boyer, the third most aces on this Anchorage team. Nearly a collision there between Gennady and Odo, and it costs them. Looked like they each got a hand on it, and Boyer picks up back-to-back aces as the Seawolves go ahead 3-1 in this fourth set. So a miscommunication there by Seattle Pacific. Down by 2. Odo lets that one go out very wisely. So after 2 aces, Boyer commits an error, and the Falcons down by a point. It's 3-2. Maddie Batiste checks in and will serve as Gabby Stegmoller takes a seat on the Falcons bench. Batiste sends it away. Johnson with the dig. Floyd set up Stevens, but denied. Now Odo hits it out of bounds. Point for Alaska Anchorage. Make it 4-2. Taylor Noga back to serve. The libero wearing green. Nice job by Noga to dig it out there. Johnson gets it over. That's Stevens who hits it right into her own side of the net. A rare miscue there from the freshman. And that gives a point and a serve back to Seattle Pacific, down by 1. Make it 2 as an error is committed that time by Haley Gaines. Vreeland serves it away and gets an ace. Vreeland again. 6-3 Anchorage. There's an error. Too strong that time. So that's the second time in this fourth set we've seen one of these Anchorage servers pick up an ace, followed by an error. Falcons down by 2, 6-4. Here's Johnson, tapped up by Tran and Crespi. Keep it alive, but right there is Tara Melton, who stuffs it in there for a 7-4 lead. That's Johnson back to serve. Hooker. Whistle blows and the point goes to the Falcons. Net violation on Anchorage, so now SPU back to within 2. It's 7-5. That's Amanda Gennady, the libero for SPU, to serve it away. Boyer. Right into the arms of Gennady. Here's Hooker with a big shot. Dug out of there by Noga. Floyd was setting up Melton, who gets it done again. Forces the Falcons into a net violation. 8-5 Seawolves. Tran up front gets it down. Going nose to nose with Vanessa Boyer. And Simone Tran able to get the job done. Tran giving up a couple of inches in height to Boyer. But the senior was able to finish the job. Falcons down by 2, make it 3. This time Boyer gets her way. On that left side, a little soft toss, hit it into no man's land, and it's 9-6. Alaska in front in this fourth set. Gaines hits it into the net. 10-6, Alaska Anchorage. Back to serve, Ellen Floyd, who is a true freshman, has been the main setter on this team, but she just sent one wide of the out-of-bounds line on a serve for an error, and the Falcons back to within 3. Down 10-7. Mallie Donahoe will serve it up for Seattle Pacific. The Falcons up 2-1. Floyd. Was able to set up Vera Pluhajuva to make it 11-7 Anchorage. Pluhajuva ranks second in the GNAC in blocks. That one stays in, and the Falcons trim the deficit to 3. As Sean Crespi and Maddie Batiste come back in for the Falcons. Pluhajuva at 6'2", the sophomore out of the Czech Republic for Alaska Anchorage. I mentioned she ranks second in the GNACs in blocks. Also 11th within the D2 world of volleyball. Crystalyn Johnson hit that one out of bounds, and the Falcons get a point. Now down 11-9. Pluhajuva in the block department, 1.29 blocks per set. Batiste sends it away. There's Stevens in for the kill. Eve Stevens now leading all Seawolves with 13 kills. They go ahead 12-9 in set number 4. Serve away by no good, and that's an error. Too strong. That's the third time in this set that the Seawolves have committed an error on that side. And now Gaines, who also has a service error, will serve it away. Nearly picked up an ace as it went by the scores table, and a really nice kill that time. Eve Stevens again punches it in there to give Alaska Anchorage a 13-10 lead. So impressive for the true freshman. She's had at least 6 kills in every match so far for her collegiate career, including a career-high 23. That was in the road win over Rocky Mountain. There's another point for the Seawolves. Sean Crespi picks up an attack error, and there's a timeout on the floor. Abby Wright talking things over with both Simone Tran and Sean Crespi heading into this timeout. 14-10, Seawolves out in front in set number 4. The Falcons still leading 2-1, but will need a come from behind here in the 4th set. Step aside. We'll be back from Seattle here in a moment. You're listening to GNAC Volleyball. Up by 4, Alaska Anchorage will serve out of the timeout. Angelin Vreeland sends it away. Tran shuffles it over, but Vreeland right there to dig it out. Now here's Johnson, heavy hit, finds some room, picks up the kill, and the Seawolves go up by 5. Crystalline Johnson with 12 kills on the night, the senior leader of Chris Green's team, helping lead the comeback bid for Alaska Anchorage. Falcons looking to put a stop to it. Falcons typically play some really good volleyball here on their home floor as Odo hits that one into the net to put the Seawolves up 16-10. Odo, fresh off of a dig, goes up for it. And she was able to hit it out of bounds off of one of the Seawolves. So just a 5-point spread here, 16-11. Odo and the Falcons serve. Make it an ace. Service ace for Gabby Odo. Her first of the day brings Seattle Pacific back to within 4. Melton off of a dig goes for the kill, whistle blows, and the point goes to Alaska Anchorage, a net violation on the Falcons. So a 17-12 lead for Anchorage as they get the serve back here in this 4th set. The Falcons 5-2 here at the Royal Brome Pavilion this year. Serving it away is Johnson, but it goes into the net for an error. So now just a 4-point cushion right now for the Seawolves. Falcons trying to come back, and Eddie in to serve. There's Floyd. And that one's short of the net. Simone Tran right there, the last to touch it, slaps her hands in frustration. 18-13 Seawolves. Hooker mistimed the jump. And it's another point for Alaska Anchorage. They're up 19-13, starting to put things together after falling in the first 2 sets today. They won a very, very tight 3rd set, 25-23, and are up big 19-13 here in set number 4. Abby Wright wants a timeout. We'll take one as well. We'll be right back in Seattle. You're listening to GNAC Volleyball. Alaska Anchorage will serve out of the timeout, up 19-13 in this 4th set. My name is Max Gunn. Great to have you with me this afternoon from the Royal Brome Pavilion in Seattle. Hooker's kill attempt was denied. Boyer's was as well, and now a whiff that time from Blue Hazuva. And the point goes to the Falcons. Falcons down 19-14, trying to go on a rally here deep into this set. While Alaska Anchorage trying to force a 5th set. There's Boyer. Out of bounds it goes. And a point to SPU. Boyer was gearing up big time for that one. And that's an ace. Simone Tran picks it up. Don't look now, but Seattle Pacific now down by just 3 at 19-16. And now Chris Green wants to take a quick timeout. We will keep it right here during the break in action here at the Royal Brome Pavilion. Falcons were down by 6, but 3 consecutive points have put them down by just 3. In other Seattle Pacific University sports news, sophomore Travis Grant scored a goal in each half on Thursday, giving him 6-4 this season as the Falcon men's soccer team rolled to a 4-1 win against the University of Mary on Thursday night. Tonight at 7 p.m., Seattle Pacific takes on Simon Fraser, the number 1 ranked soccer team in Division II at Interbay Stadium. So plan on making it a full day of SPU sports after volleyball here this afternoon. Grab a bite to eat, then head on over to Interbay for the Falcons match against number 1 Simon Fraser in a GNAC men's soccer showdown. All the latest news on Seattle Pacific Athletics is just a click away at www.spufalcons.com. Get all of the Falcons sports news that you can't get anywhere else on the day it happens. Again, that website, www.spufalcons.com. Out of the timeout, Simone Tran will serve it again for the Falcons. Down 19-16 in the 4th set. Good rally here. There's Boyer going up for it. Hooker, what a great dig. Boyer again. Equally as good dig by Stegmoller, and Haley Gaines fires it in, and the Falcons back to within 2. Haley Gaines, that was her 14th kill. And she now has double-digit kills in 8 of her last 10 matches. What a comeback effort here now by the Falcons in this 4th set. Gannetti to Hooker. Dug out of there by Noga. Shuffled over by Floyd. Floyd again, setting up Pluhazuva. No go. And Johnson just does get it over. Gannetti, dig, setting up Gaines. Nearly a double hit there. Nice job, though, by Hooker to keep it alive. Terrific rally. Boyer blocked up by Stegmoller. Standing tall, out of bounds it goes. Point to the Falcons. Down by just 1, 19-18. And Chris Green, the head coach for Anchorage, just has his right hand leaning against the side of his face as if to say, what in the world has just happened to the big lead? Pluhazuva stuffs it in there. Lands at the feet of one of the Falcons. And the Seawolves go back up by 2, 20-18. Floyd to serve. Tran setting up Hooker. Soft toss with the left hand. Now Floyd setting up Boyer. Blocked in front by Stegmoller as well as Gaines. Boyer will try again. But Tran is right there to dig it out. Now Gaines with the left hand. Out of bounds it goes. Point to the Seawolves. Stegmoller and Gaines standing tall together, side by side. Haley Gaines, the transfer, stands 6 feet tall. Stegmoller at 6'2". A lot of size in front of the net there for Seattle Pacific. That one just gets over. Gannetti and Hooker nearly bumped into each other as the Falcons pick up a point. Down 21-19 now. Haley Gaines gets another kill. Give her 15. Prior to coming to SPU, as Odo hits that one out of bounds to give the Seawolves a 22-19 lead. When Gaines played for Concordia Irvine, the most kills that she had in a match was 12. 15 here today. It's becoming about a regular number for Gaines in the kill department. Johnson going up for it. Odo right there, setting up Gaines, going for another, but the Seawolves answer. Stevens hit it too strong, but it was touched by Amanda Gannett. Likely would have gone out of bounds. Instead, it's a point for Alaska Anchorage. They're back up by 4 now, 23-19. Boyer sends it away. Stegmoller tapped in front there by Johnson. Johnson again. Really good dig by Gannett. Pluhazuva setting up Stevens. Soft tap. Somehow kept alive by Mally Donahoe. What a job to get down onto the hardwood and save that one. But it goes out of bounds off of the Falcons, and that long rally ends with a point for the Seawolves, who are now serving for the set. Trying to even it up at 2-2, up 24-19. Gannett coming up for it, setting up Gaines. Big left-handed flush won't go. Floyd, the setter, digs it out. Whistle blows. Point for the Falcons. Double hit on Alaska Anchorage. Now 24-20. Maddie Batiste in and will serve. The Falcons were up 2-0. The third set won 25-23 by Anchorage, and the Seawolves have a 24-20 lead. In this fourth set, it's still set point. Floyd to Johnson. Great dig by Odo. Noga bumps it up. And the setter, Floyd, there nearly got one to go. Odo hits it out off of one of the Seawolves, and the Falcons not done yet in this set. Down by just 3, 24-21. Batiste with the serve. Almost picked up an ace. Fumbled around, just getting it over. Now here's Gaines, who hits it home. Give her 16 kills on the afternoon, and the Falcons down 24-22. And Chris Green, his team has been at set point over the last couple of points. Calls a timeout on the floor. Terrific GNAC volleyball match this afternoon in Seattle. The SPU up 2-1, but the Seawolves 1 point away from evening it up to 2-2. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to GNAC Volleyball. Maddie Batiste will serve for Seattle Pacific out of the timeout. It's 24-22. Alaska Anchorage leads in this fourth set. It is set point. Johnson with the dig off of the serve. Now here's Eve Stevens, blocked and out of bounds. The point and the set goes to Alaska Anchorage. So for the second time in as many matches, the Falcons will head to a fifth set. In the first of 15, we'll take this one. Seattle Pacific took the first two, but 2 straight matches have been won by the Seawolves, who are making a comeback bid here on the road. 2-2, We are all even. Fifth set coming up in just a couple of moments from Seattle. We'll be right back. You're listening to GNAC Volleyball. So here we go, back in Seattle. My name is Max Gunn, welcoming you back inside the Brome Pavilion on the campus of Seattle Pacific University. The Falcons had a 2-0 lead, 2 straight sets won by the Seawolves, so we are heading to a 5th set. The Falcons trying to win this match against Alaska Anchorage to move up into the GNAC standings. Seattle Pacific currently in 5th, Alaska Anchorage in 3rd place. So they're looking to gain a game on one of the teams ahead of them. The Seawolves will serve first. Ellen Floyd, the freshman setter, back there to send it away. First to 15 will take this one. Off we go. Odo with the dig. That's Stevens in front, and she gets it to fall. Another kill for Eve Stevens. Give her 17 on the afternoon, and it's 1-0 Alaska Anchorage. Tran setting up Gaines, looking for the hammer off the hands of Noga. Very nice dig there. Now Boyer picks up the kill. Vanessa Boyer with number 14 makes it 2-0 Alaska Anchorage here in set number 5. Very close matches, or sets I should say, throughout the course of the whole day. The biggest spread in any set was 5. It's 3-0 now as Pluhazuva out of the Czech Republic makes it 3-0 Seawolves with that kill. Middle blocker getting it over. 25-20, the first game win for Seattle Pacific. That was the largest spread. Everything else has been decided by 3 points or less. Good rally here. Boyer gets it over. Gannetti digs it out. Tran Setting up Odo, who gets it to fall. Gabby Odo with her 14th kill. She has another double-double to go along with those 14 kills. Odo also has 12 digs. 12th double-double of the season for her. Pluhazuva just does get it in, barely. That's her second kill of the 5th set. She has 2 of the 4 for Alaska Anchorage as the visitors go ahead 4-1. Make it 5-1. An ace for Vanessa Boyer, and Abby Wright wants to take a timeout. Again, her team was up 2-0. 2 straight won by Alaska Anchorage, and now the Seawolves have a 5-1 lead here in the 5th set. We'll keep it right here during the timeout, let you know of some other Seattle Pacific University sports news. Julie DeVere and Megan Moore found the back of the net on Saturday as the SPU women's soccer team got back in the win column with a 2-1 victory at Montana State Billings. The Falcons are home for 2 games next week, hosting Concordia Portland, and on Thursday at 7 p.m. against Western Oregon. Both games will be at Interbay Stadium. For all the latest news on Seattle Pacific Athletics, you can go to www.spufalcons.com. My name is Max Gunn. You're listening to a GNAC volleyball match between Seattle Pacific and Alaska Anchorage. It has been a good one. The Falcons going to 5 sets for the second consecutive match. They lost in 5 to Fairbanks on Thursday, trying to reverse course here today and pick up a win against an Anchorage team who is a couple spots ahead of them in the GNAC volleyball standings. Odo denied. Now here's Crystalyn Johnson. Really good dig there by Donahoe. Odo gets it over. Stevens blocked up there by Crespi. Odo had to be careful for a net violation. Makes a really nice play on it, and Haley Gaines finds some space on the floor. Gets it over with the left hand, sneaks it over, and is able to find just enough room to trim the deficit to 3. It's 5-2. Now Gaines will serve. Line drive, gets over. Tran setting up Crespi. You bet! Sean Crespi on that far corner keeps it in bounds. And now the Falcons down by just 2. 5-3 in set number 5. First to 15 will take this one. Falcons trying to snap a 3-match losing streak. And Gaines commits the service error there to put Anchorage up 6-3. And a big-time stuff there from Tara Melton. In front of the net, it was one of those 50-50 balls on either side, and she just reached up there. At 6 feet tall and punched it onto the floor, and now that one is going to be under review as Abby Wright challenged it. So this is potentially a very big swing here for both of these teams. As it stands right now, it's 7-3. Alaska Anchorage out in front in this decisive 5th set. And now after the review, the call will stand as originally called on the court, so it remains 7-3. Alaska Anchorage with the lead. And the serve, Taylor Noga. Stands back. Long serve. Dug out of there by Odo. Tran gets it to fall. Simone Tran whistles it over with two hands. And now the Falcons down just 7-4. Jaden Hooker back into the match. Whistle blows. That'll be another point for the Falcons. Net violation called on the Seawolves, so it's 7-5 now. Falcons down a deuce. Odo serves it. Gets over. Stevens finds some space, and the freshman makes it 8-5. And the two teams will switch sides. Eve Stevens leading all players on the floor with 18 kills. Into serve is Angelin Vreeland. Away it goes. Here's Hooker looking for an answer, but kept alive by the Seawolves. Mansfield bumps it to Tran, setting up Hooker, but a really nice diving attempt by Vreeland to keep it alive. Johnson gets it over with the left hand, as does Simone Tran for the Falcons. Good rally here. It goes into the net and down. Falcons back down by just 2. Eight to 6. Make it 8-7. Here comes Seattle Pacific. On a nice roll here, picking up 3 consecutive points. Make it 4 points. Net violation is called. We are all even at 8 points apiece, and Chris Green calls a timeout. What a response by Seattle Pacific. And it's 8-8 in this 5th set. Timeout on the floor. We will be right back in Seattle. You're listening to GNAC Volleyball. Out of the timeout, it is Amanda Gannett to serve for SPU. It is 8 serving 8 as the race to 15 here in the 5th set marches on. Tran setting up Hooker, big blow, point for the Falcons. Jaden Hooker gives Seattle Pacific their first lead of the 5th set at 9-8. And Hooker gets her 11th kill. Johnson looking to answer and does. 9-9 in set number 5. That's kill number 12 for Johnson, and she will go back and serve. How about Ellen Floyd with 55 assists today? Not bad for the freshman for Alaska Anchorage. 9 serving, 9 whistle blows. That's a point for the Falcons. A 2-hit violation called on Anchorage. Make it 10-9. SPU in front. Simone Tran to serve. Vreeland just does get down there to get it. Now Melton picks up a kill of her own, and we are all knotted up at 10. There have been a total of 14 ties and 8 lead changes throughout the course of this match. There's Haley Gaines from the near side. Picks up a kill, her 18th. And Mally Donahoe will serve with the Falcons up 11-10. Seattle Pacific trying to show some resiliency here as that one just goes out and we're all tied at 11. Service error committed by Donahoe. And by resiliency, I mean the Falcons falling in the, or winning rather, the first 2 sets, falling in the next 2. Trying to take it in the distance here at 5 from Royal Brome Pavilion in Seattle. Gabby Odo has it blocked up front, and that's Plahazuva finding some space, able to pick it up to put the Seawolves up 12-11. Odo. Not that time. Here's Johnson. Getting it over. Tran setting up Gaines, looking to even the contest. It is out of bounds. Just barely, very, very close, and the Falcons are going to challenge it. That is how close it was. Abby Wright hands the official the green replay card. And this obviously, very big swing as well. 13-11 as it stands right now. If it is reversed, it will be even at 12-12. So we will wait and see what the video monitor has in store. And other Seattle Pacific University sports news, the Falcon cross country teams have this weekend off from competition, but they'll be back on the race course next Saturday in Idaho for the Inland Empire Challenge. The women race at 10 a.m. and the men will follow at 10:45. Both races will be at the Lewis and Clark State College cross country course. So they are still taking a look at that last ball that was hit by Haley Gaines. A lot of steam behind it. Gaines with 18 kills to lead the way for Seattle Pacific. That is tied for a match high with Eve Stevens from Alaska Anchorage. So both of these teams now out of their huddles, just standing on the court and waiting to see which way this point will go. It is a very, very big one late into this 5th set. And with the Falcons up 2-0 early, certainly did not look like this match was going to go the distance, but here we are. For the second straight time, replay is over, and the point goes to the Falcons. After review, it was in. And we are all tied up at 12. So give Haley Gaines 19 kills. That is a huge, huge call. A great challenge by head coach Abby Wright. Wow. Overturned. Now there's Boyer who gets it down for a 13-12 Seawolves lead. Just how big was that call instead of being match point right now? It's a slim 1-point lead for the Sea Wolves as Boyer serves it up. Crespi trying to even the contest, not that time. Gaines blocked around. Gaines will get another crack at it. Here it comes. It is out. 14-12, Alaska Anchorage, and they will serve for the match. Boyer back to send it off. Away it goes. Dug out by Donahoe. Gennady has it. Odo gets it over. Here's Johnson for the match. Not that time. Tran has to race back and get it. Donahoe gets it over. No, it hits off the net. And onto the hardwood it goes. The Alaska Anchorage Seawolves come from 2 sets down to win this match in 5 sets. A hard-fought battle for Seattle Pacific and Alaska Anchorage, but for the second time in as many matches, the Falcons fall in 5 here on their home floor, losing this week to Alaska Fairbanks on Thursday and today against Alaska Anchorage. So Seattle Pacific, as we look at the final tallies here, take the first set 25-20. They took set number 2, 25-22. All was looking well into the break, but following the intermission in set number 3, Alaska Anchorage won the third set 25-23. They took set number 4, 25-22. And in the decisive 5th set, they go on to take the match 15-12. And a disappointing loss for Seattle Pacific. A terrific match, though, for Haley Gaines, who picked up 19 kills to lead everybody on the floor today for both of these teams. Gabby Odo finished with 14 kills. She had a double-double. And Simone Tran had 45 assists to lead the way for Seattle Pacific, but Ellen Floyd, the setter for the Seawolves, picked up 57. So now the Seattle Pacific Falcons will try and right the ship. They are headed on the road. They will take on Concordia Portland, Western Oregon, St. Mary's, and Montana State Billings. They do not return here to the Royal Brome Pavilion until October 25th against Central Washington. Central, one of the best teams in the GNAC. They're in second place right now, 14-12 overall record. They're 8-1 in conference play as it stands today. So that will be a very tough test in a couple of weeks the next time the Falcons are at home. I'll have the call with you there. First serve for that one is at 7 p.m. Again, for all the latest news on Seattle Pacific Athletics, it's just a click away at www.spufalcons.com. You can get Falcon sports news that you cannot get anywhere else on the day it happens. That website, one more time, www.spufalcons.com. For all of us here at Seattle Pacific University, my name is Max Gunn, saying good night and so long from the Royal Brome Pavilion. The Falcons fall in 5 sets today against Alaska Anchorage, and that puts Seattle Pacific at now 7-10 on the year and even 500 in GNAC conference play at 5-5, while the Seawolves go on to improve to 15-13 and 9-2 within the GNAC conference. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. I'll catch you the next time the Falcons are at home on October 25th against Central. I'll talk to you then. Have a great night, everybody.